Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am having a fantastic day. I've had a great week. Had some relatives come from out of town to visit. They are now gone, but had a nice visit with some family members. A couple nice relaxing days where I didn't do anything YouTube related, and it was glorious. And now we are back, and today I want to do some work on the keep. We actually, although the keep is mostly structurally complete at this point, there's still a lot left to do. We still need to add battlements along these walls. The sides are pretty bland. I mean, if we take a look over here, that's not a good look. So we need to do some stuff there. There's a lot of work we have left to do in the keep. But what I want to do today is I want to do some work up on this level. This is the uppermost level of the keep. Not up here where the tower is, but, ooh, can I? We'll see if I can actually get up there. I don't know if I can. We're going to try. I might have to do a little something like that. Oh, we made it. Okay. This room right here. First of all, it's missing a ceiling. It's huge, and currently the only way to get up here is to either take a staircase. Well, there really is no way to get up here at the moment. There's this entrance that you can elytra into, which is like the top of this little bridge area right here. But that's basically it. That's the only way you can actually get up here right now. So what I want to do is I want to start by making this area accessible. And then my plan is to turn this room into the grand library. And then there's also another room underneath it right here. And I'm thinking this is going to become our throne room. So library up above, throne room underneath. And we need to make some stairways and stuff that kind of connect this to the rest of the castle, because right now it's just hanging out. It's just there, and there's no way to actually get to it, which makes it, you know, a little bit impractical if there's no way to actually access those parts of the castle. So I think the first thing to do is we should probably just start grabbing some resources. A little bit of that. Let's grab... Do I have an ender chest? Yeah, here we go. Let's just grab a shulker box. Throw all of that in there, and then let's just grab all of these, and all of these for the time being. And that should be enough to get us started, I think. And then maybe we'll grab just a couple stone bricks, just in case we need them. That should be good. So, as I said, the plan is to connect these up to the rest of the castle. And if we're up here, that was terrible. Try again. Let's just land right here. This'll do. So we can access it right here. This is the only door. And then the plan is, these are full planks, right? Yeah. So this hallway will wrap around. We can come back down here so I can show you. The hallway's going to wrap around over to these edges. We could potentially put a staircase like here, and then the same on the other side. But I don't think I want to do that. I think what I want to do instead is if we look over, fly up, and we need to land on the bridge. There we go. Right here, we've got a couple of towers that aren't really being used for anything. And we could, you know, they lead out right here. And then they also lead into this hallway as well. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a staircase that leads up right here in these towers. So it'll come out up there, and that'll be how you actually get up there. I think that's the best way to handle this. So let's think about this a little bit. First and foremost, I think what we should do is grab a stack of ender pearls just so we can get back and forth relatively easily. And then let's grab just ender pearl up here. Oh, I'm trapped in the thing. I went through the wall. Okay, that's fine. I think what we'll do is this will be like our little entrance, right? So let's just put our spruce wood right here, grab some spruce planks, grab some spruce logs, and we'll say right about here will be our platform. And then we want the staircase to kind of wrap down from there. So I'm thinking like this. There's a zombie around here somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where. So we're gonna need like a 2 wide staircase. So maybe, let's see, that would bring it to here, right? We'd have stairs kind of coming up like that. Yep. And then right here, they would come down again to here. And then down, actually, no. Those would be right here. So that would be, oh, no, that would be up here. So that would be like this. What do we think of that? And then our doorway would be over, like right about here. I don't think I like the shape of that or the flow of that. Oh, and yeah, that's definitely not going to work. Well, actually, that would mean that this whole thing would have to come up. Did I mess that up over here as well? No, I didn't. Okay. So here. Actually, just kidding. This would be up like so. And then here. Yeah, that's not really gonna do it, is it? Okay. So let's go back to the drawing board. So here's what we'll do. We'll just mark it up. Oh, we'll just mark it out directly against the wall. And then it will be easy enough to like bring it back. So let's try going maybe the other direction, right? So instead of ending up coming from here and cutting over, maybe instead we go here, right? And then it would go down, yoo-hoo, down, and then here, right? So we have like a little platform right there, down. Actually, it would only be able to go down one right there. So here it would go there, down, and then here and here. So that would be our staircase. And that has a much better flow to it. Yeah. That's way better. And then, of course, our doorway would be right here, right? And we'd take our stone brick, fill this stuff back in. This would be your doorway up to the second story. And what we would probably do is take stone brick. Is there a torch back here? There is, and it should light everything up enough that nothing will spawn in there. Okay, good. And then basically what we would be doing here is just making sure that that covers up this kind of center point, right? So we're basically making like a little stairwell like this, and that leads up to the other side. And we would need some torches as well, probably put like a torch here or something, but you get the idea, right? So we're just basically making a stairwell here, and we could do something like that, right? Probably put stone brick stairs on the inside of this or whatever. But the idea is we're making a stairwell that comes up and that wraps around, and then you can go in. And we would have matching staircases on each side. So we would basically be doing the same thing over, let's see, this is 4 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd be doing essentially the same thing, but in reverse. And right here, I just noticed something. Are these different? What's down here? Okay. Okay, I see. So we have the ceiling in there. We don't have the ceiling in over here. Okay. Oh, that was like a half sneeze, half cough. I don't know. I'm sorry. I have no idea what happened there. It was like a keys? A snuff? I don't know. I don't know what that was. My mouth has not made that noise ever before. But anyway, so what we would do then is we would just fill this in because we know what's going on. We would make that match. And speaking of which, this room actually is another room that needs to be completed as well. But we can do that. That'll be easy enough. We know where it's going to come out and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not too concerned. I think we can pull this off. So now that we've got that little bit sorted out about as to, how that's going to work, and the other one will be the same, just mirrored. It'll be, flipped, essentially. Now that we've got that worked out, let me go ahead and get the other side done. All right, guys, I am back, and I think I've got it all taken care of. So let's run up there real quick and take a look at the progress. So if we go in this hallway, just kidding, not that hallway. If we go in up here into this hallway, we now have both of our arches. I went ahead and I brought the walls up. I also put the ceiling in up there. The same one is essentially identical in every way. And then over here, I widened this to a 3x3 door, and I brought the floor across over here and fixed the ceiling up here as well. So we now have room for our grand library. And what I'm thinking is it would be really cool to have basically a multi-level library. So, let's just grab some spruce blocks to use an example, right? So we'd have bookshelves, along the walls, etc., like so. And then I think what we would want is like a balcony, like up here with more bookshelves. And then we can incorporate these stained glass windows into the design for the library. I think that would be really cool if we could make that work. However, there are some considerations that we want to sort of take into account. First of all, the library is going to serve a practical purpose. The library is going to be where we store all of our enchanted books. And there are 30 enchantments in Minecraft. So we are going to need 30 separate chests in which to store enchanted books. Okay. Obviously, not all books are, one enchantment. There are going to be some books that have a whole bunch of different enchantments on them. So we're also going to want chests that are basically mixed chests, right? Chests that will have different types of stuff on them. Let's grab some of these, and let's maybe grab just a couple stacks of dark oak wood. There we go. So we're going to have to do a little bit of planning before we get into properly finishing the library and properly doing the library. We're probably not going to finish the whole thing in this episode. It's probably going to take us a couple episodes to get this all sorted out. But we got the staircase done, and that was a big kind of first step that we can now actually get up here. That's kind of important. So let's think about this for a minute. First of all, let's say that let's find our center point. Our center point should be right here, right? Yes. Okay. So this is our center, right? And we'll say, we'll just say that these represent chests, right? So we'll have double chests here for mixed enchantments, is what I'm thinking. Okay. Then I'm thinking we'll go something like this, right? So we'll have books like so. And would we want to have bookshelves here? And then have the chests in between those? I'd really like to work a little more depth into this than that. And there's no need to have the 30 chests, the ones that are only going to be, one chest basically for each type of enchantment. There's really no need for those to be double chests. Those we can get away with just making those single chests. So let's maybe start here. And let's plan for depth. Or maybe what we should do is we should maybe make the upper floor first, just so we know what kind of a space we're working with. Let's just see. Let's try this. Let's try and come up with a simple design that we can repeat that will hold one book, right? And then we can repeat it like so. Except we don't want it to be an exact type of thing. We'd want it probably recessed a little bit. So that would be 5 wide for one chest. That might be... This is why planning is important, my friends. And I do have Silk Touch on my axe, so I'm not worried about chopping up these bookshelves. And I have a cow farm for getting more oak, which is actually the whole reason that I made this cow farm is for this project. I've been planning to do something along these lines for quite some time. So let's say we go like so, right? Like so. Okay, we get a thing like this. And we'll bring that up there. Maybe we throw another bookshelf here. And then a chest like that, right? And this will open. And then do we have... We have spruce wood, which is not... I think I'd prefer that to be oak. For now, let's just say a spruce wood stair, but I'm thinking this will probably be oak wood instead, so it matches with the bookshelves. So we'll do something along those lines, and then we'll probably put a sign on this that'll say, fortune or whatever type of book it is. I think that's probably the best way to handle it. Up here, we'll put logs like so. And then we would go probably another log right here. And then these would be our double chests for mixed enchantments, right? And we need 1, 2, 3. So here. No, here would be the other one, right? Yep. Okay, this actually should work out really well. 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3 here. So it'll be a little bit short. Like, we'll have an extra gap back here. But I think this could work. And then we just need to see how many. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 here, right? And then like so. And those should line up. And these should basically be symmetrical. Here. Here. Yeah. So then that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 chests. Which is not even close to enough. What an interesting conundrum. There is the second level. But the second level we need to incorporate these stained glass windows. We don't want to cover those up with bookshelves. So I think for the second level, we probably want to plan to have even less. I'm thinking the second level, maybe what we could do instead, since we have this extra gap on either side, here's a thought. How would it change things if instead of saying that our mixed books go here, what if we plan to have the second level be all of the mixed books? I think that might be a good idea. So rather than saying, mixed books on the bottom, and then we'll just kind of try and find places for all the regular ones, maybe we say second level books. So here, and then we would go 1, 2, 3, like so. 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. And then we can make better use of this space. So we'd go there. So then that would give us per side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be 14, which is not quite 30. But that would double to 28, and I suppose we could combine some of the chests. Like, for example, we probably don't need a chest for both Cursive Binding and Cursive Vanishing. We could probably combine those both into curses and call it good. And then maybe we could combine all of the fishing rod enchantments into one chest as well. So like your lure and all that kind of stuff, those could probably all be in one chest as well. That might be the smart way to do it. And then we need some way to access the next level. But that would give us enough space, for sure, if we combined those chests, or combined a couple of the chests, and did it like this. I think that might be our best course of action. You go here. We'll just, I want to light up the areas back here just to be on the safe side. There we go. Yeah, that could be good. Okay. So then we need to sort out where our second level is going to be. So let's rebuild one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So say we want a chest sitting on a bookshelf here, right? So what we would probably want to do then, well, no, because we wouldn't even need to. This would be fine. We could just do it like this, and this would be perfectly acceptable. Grab that, throw you here, across, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so each bookshelf would be like 4 high, right? With a chest right here. And then coming off of it, what did I do with that dark oak? It's in my inventory. Let's make, actually, I have a ton of dark oak stairs in my storage room that I should probably use before I make a whole bunch more dark oak stairs. That's probably the smart thing. I'm really bad about that, where I craft more and more of a resource that I already have a whole bunch of, like more of than I want. So let's not craft a bunch of dark oak stairs. Let's actually just get dark oak stairs, because I've got a ton of them, like right here. Like look at all the dark oak stairs. There's so many from making roofs, actually, but that's beside the point. Let's see if we can come up with a balcony design. What we're gonna have to do, not that level, this level. What we're gonna have to do is not this level either. I'm so bad at navigating my own castle, apparently. I don't know where anything is. I mean, then again, if I can't figure it out, imagine how the attackers are going to feel. They're going to be lost. It'll be like a maze. It'll be great. Anyway, I digress. Here's what I'm thinking, right? So we'll bring these up one higher. And then we'll bring this over at a level like so. Right? So there'll be this level, basically row of dark oak coming across, and this is going to start as the structural support for the ceiling. So, or not the ceiling, for the balcony, I should say, right? So let's just try maybe something like this, right? We'll have some dark oak coming up like so. And then this will come out probably to here. That's probably all the further we'd want to bring it, if I'm being... Let's see. As we bring that one out, that should be fine. So then we'd go one... that's going to be kind of hard to place, isn't it? We'd go 1, 2, 3 here. This guy would come up like so. And then like that. I wonder if we could just do it like that. That might actually be better. What if we did that? And then here, we tore these out? Does that look any better? Or maybe something like this? Ooh, I like that better. That's, yeah. I like that. And we could potentially even do some fences in here like this to further kind of emphasize that shape. I am liking that. Okay. So then we need to figure out how we're going to turn that into a balcony with these materials. So let's kind of just ender pearl up here for a minute. And let's say right here, right? We've got this whole thing all figured out. And I know I'm using a lot of dark oak, but I've got tons of it. Like, I've got so much dark oak, I'm never going to use it all. So say we do something like this. This guy would get replaced with a log going like that. And we'd say, okay, here we have our little statue things like this. We'd probably put some sort of a fence or something along here. How much space would this give me? A 3-block gap? Yeah, that would give me a 3-block gap there. So then up here, we would basically do something very similar, except it would probably end up being too high, or we could make these entirely decorative and they wouldn't actually need to serve any real purpose at all. Right? We could just do something like this. Except that's a weird height for these windows. Or maybe what we would do is we wouldn't do it on the other side. Maybe we would just stick with this. Let's put a torch in there so nothing would spawn. I'm just trying to get a feel for this. And this probably won't be the final design, but if we could just kind of get a feel for it and see what we think. Oh, I like that. I quite like that, actually. That's a good look. Let's just put a lot of these building materials in here for a minute. Grab some spruce. Do a little bit of that. Make some sticks. And some fences. There we go. And then let's just pop up there. I'm stuck in the thing. There we go. So we have like a little railing here. How does that feel? I like that. I like that quite a lot. That's a pretty good feel, I think. Let's just kind of build this one over as well. Kind of try this out. And I'm kind of maybe thinking maybe we do stick with the spruce. Like originally we were going to go with the oak for the chest, but I kind of like the spruce. That's not too bad. So then we'd have to figure out how, like, this will work for this chunk, but once we turn this corner, we're going to run into some problems. So maybe there. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. I do think maybe what I should do is I should just get some suggestions. I'm sure you guys have some good suggestions on this. You can send them to me on Twitter or something. I think maybe what we'll do is I'll go ahead and wrap up the episode here. We'll call it. You guys can weigh in with your own suggestions if you want to send me pictures on Twitter or things like that. You've seen how we've made the design, how this whole thing is kind of starting to come together. That could be really good. Why don't we do it that way? Also, there is a announcement video coming out later today. Very important. I'm going to a convention. I'm going to Mindfair Charlotte. But full video coming out later today with a little bit more detail than that. So anyway, guys, I think I am going to go ahead and wrap up the episode right here. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.